Hey everyone, Scott and Bruce from musicplayers.com here tonight. Going to do something we have not done before that should be really interesting. Today we're going to compare three very similar guitars from the Ibanez S Series. A lot of times people wonder, what do I get when I buy the regular version of a guitar, or what if I step up to, say, the Ibanez Premium line, and what happens if I step all the way up to the Prestige line of guitars? They all seem very similar, in appearance, and maybe they feel similar. But how do they sound? What's really the difference? So tonight we're going to explore the S670, which is the standard line S Series guitar, the S1070 Premium, which is the premium version, and the S6570 Prestige model. So we're probably going to learn a whole bunch of things about it. And so that we're not influenced in any way by what they sell for, how expensive, what features are on them or not. Bruce is going to demo the guitars for you in a completely blind performance test. He has not seen the guitars yet, and we're going to start out by blindfolding him and having him share some opinions of each of the guitars without knowing which guitar he's handling at the time. Then we're going to get one of our friends in the studio audience to come on down and do the same thing for us and see what he thinks. So we'll bring out our special guest later. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're going to give Bruce his first guitar, see what he thinks of how it feels, without having played it before. Okay, let's see what he thinks.
Wait a minute. When did the S Series start putting a gem grip on there?
Okay, we were just testing them. Okay, now the real test. Here you go. Here's your first of the guitars.
This is a real guitar.
So this is something.
This is definitely an S. Okay.
Folks, there is no sound on purpose. Right now, Bruce is checking out the guitar.
It's pretty resonant. I mean, yeah, you hit a big country chord, you feel the whole body of the guitar resonating, the back of the neck. Yeah, it's pretty shred approved. Yeah, the action's like, it doesn't seem to be fretting out anywhere. All the notes are ringing true.
And how's it feel comfort-wise?
The neck is it's thin. It's Ibanez thin for sure. It's definitely built to be a fast, easy to get around neck. Like next to no weight. It's a really light guitar.
Okay, well, let's give you another guitar.
Okay.
Okay. Here's another one.
Okay. About the same weight. A little. I could tell already. It's just acoustically. It's a brighter guitar. The action and maybe the radius of the guitar feels a little different. I don't know if this is a flatter radius. The action's just a little bit higher. Not like it's not prohibitively high, but it's not as smooth as that last guitar was. The last guitar just felt more together, easier to play, by a little, not by a lot. This is still a pretty resonant guitar as far as that goes. And like I said, it sounds brighter acoustically.
Okay, let's give you another one.
All right. This one might be a touch heavier. I mean, not by much. Not as bright, kind of more like the first one. Maybe the least resonant out of the three. The action on this one is closer to the first one also. And this might be the most playable out of the three.
Your evaluation, playability-wise, it sounds like you like this better than the previous one, similar to the first one.
The middle one I liked the least of the three, playability. This one is the least resonant of the three.
Okay, so Bruce has sampled all the guitars, gotten to feel them acoustically, see how they struck him. Now, Bruce is playing through a Hughes & Kettner Grandmeister 40 amplifier that we just recently reviewed at musicplayers.com. So we've got a couple of sounds set up. The only thing you're hearing is a little bit of reverb on his first 3 channels, and then a little bit of delay, which is also provided by the Grandmeister built in on an extra lead channel for when he really wants to unleash his inner shred monster. So here we go with the first guitar. What are your thoughts?
Sounds good. Sounds decent. The whole S line, like I remember my old S540, it always had more of a fusiony thing to it where it had a little less bite than like let's say like my RGs and even my gems or whatnot would have to them. And I never really knew why. And honestly, like these guitars are kind of this particular guitar anyway is really no different to that. A little less attack, but it gives you a little more fluidity in the sound. That's kind of what I'm getting out of this guitar.
Okay, let's give you the next guitar in the series.
I've never been so grateful for my eyes as I am right now. I wish I had them. They're a little louder too. Did the volume change at all on the amp?
The pickups could be slightly different.
Yeah, this is it's louder. It's got more bite to it, more attack. It's just better generally.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have one more channel?
We got one
Yep,
more
right
channel
there.
here.
Okay, let's check out the next guitar.
Interesting. Sounds a lot like the first guitar. Neck, I don't know. Maybe the neck is a little beefier than the first guitar, but if it is, not by much. It's definitely almost feels like the same guitar, to be honest.
You never know if I did that to you.
But that bite and the volume is definitely gone from the guitar you just took away. It's not bad sounding. It's just that middle guitar there was just a lot more aggressive.
Yes.
Yeah, on this channel, things kind of changed a little bit with this instrument. It has the S thing where it still lacks a little bit of the attack, but the gain on this comes together a little bit better than the first guitar did, but not quite as nice as the second one. It does sound rich and full, but I mean the second one was just more like an RG with a hot pickup.
Okay, let's see. Why don't we go back to the third channel, play something that'll stick in your head, and then we're going to go back to guitar number 1, and I want you to compare
Okay.
this to guitar number 1. Hand you that.
Okay.
And here we go.
right away it sounds more compressed. It might have a little bit less volume, and it's more bottom. It's got a lot more bottom to the sound. But it kind of lost the openness to it, you know. But that's what my old 540 did too. It kind of did the same thing. So to say that these guitars have a sound to them is an understatement, I think.
Okay, so let me ask you.
Sure.
If you had to take one of these three guitars to the gig,
Oh boy.
which one are you leaning towards?
I mean, I could use any of the three without much of a problem. This one or the last one, I mean, it's really a tough call. I mean, they are very similar. The last one sounded a little more open. So, different tools really. All round guitar. I don't know. I guess the more open sounding guitar. But which guitar feels better? That's a question too. I mean, between I mean, it's one of them that the when I was playing the guitars acoustically, the middle guitar would kind of be the last choice just because of the feel of it. And I don't know if it was because of the radius or because maybe the setup might have been a little higher, but it's kind of hard to say.
Okay.
But I mean, out of this one and the last one that I played, it's really a toss up. I mean,
Okay, well, let me
I can't tell what's what.
let me switch you back to that other one once more.
Okay. That just goes to show you I am really blindfolded. I can't see shit. Oh, wow. I don't know. Maybe this one I like a little bit better because it just feels a little better, you know? I don't, is this the more open one? I think it is, unless you change something on the amp.
Yes.
It doesn't
No.
quite sound as compressed. Yeah, this might be my pick of the three, I would think.
Okay, well,
Just
let's
completely blindfolded.
take off your blindfold and let's see what you're holding. You are holding the premium line
Oh, wow.
Ibanez,
Cool.
which you found testing to be most similar to the Prestige.
To the Prestige. Okay. Yeah.
Now, the brighter sounding guitar that you seem to actually really enjoy the tone of was the standard.
Wow. Okay, so
Was
that was the
with-
brighter sounding one.
Yes, and so the brighter sounding one
Okay.
has Ibanez designed in-house pickups. It had the Ibanez pickups,
Wow, it's really
in the
bright
standard.
in here now.
whereas whereas both of these guitars now have the same set of DiMarzio pickups.
The pickups are identical.
Yes,
Interesting.
but the one big difference though is that in the Prestige model, the humbuckers are ring mounted, whereas they're direct mounted to the body in the premium line.
Which was the one that I said sounded more compressed? This guitar.
This guitar.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so I think somewhat surprisingly, the ring-mounted pickups came across sounding more compressed.
Interesting.
And if I were going to just take a guess, I would have sight unseen. I would have guessed the opposite. I would have thought the opposite. The specs on all of these guitars are in the full review at musicplayers.com. So you'll want to check that out to really read some in-depth conversation about these. We will also have some additional audio samples that today, right now, we've been performing live with the Hughes and Kettner Grandmeister 40 tube amplifier, but we're going to create some audio samples for you using the Line 6 Helix, and we will provide the audio files, the amp models for you to download, so any of you with Helix can see for yourself exactly, how your guitar sounds in comparison to these with the same settings we used. I also want to point out we did not adjust any amp settings for any of these guitars in this testing. We actually dialed in the amp ahead of time, created our sounds, using another Ibanez guitar with a similar kind of configuration. But we did no tweaking of the sound at all because we wanted it to be completely fresh for Bruce. And it was. And this was all unedited takes. You just heard, Bruce did an awesome job of just playing blindfolded, like his worst possible blinding gig. So, Bruce, thank you as always.
Thank you, Scott.
And now we're gonna get one of our other pals to come check out these guitars and see what his opinion is of the same model. So stay tuned.